Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the SECO Energy District 7 meeting. I am Joseph Kusiak, your District 7 trustee. If you would please stand and join me with Mike Muffett, our District 6 trustee, will lead us in prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father God, thank you for the safe travel that you gave us being here tonight. We do come with heavy hearts, remembering our trustee, Rick Dennison, that he passed away just a few days ago, and we ask that you'd be with their family and help them through their trying times. We ask you to be with the board as we adjust to his absence, and we've lost a comrade, and we just pray that you'd help us to get through all the trying times of that. Thank you for all that you do for us and the opportunities we have as SECO Energy, being able to supply energy to all of our people in our districts, and we just thank you for that opportunity to serve them. We ask now, Father, that you would continue to be with SECO Energy's employees and watch over their families. Be with us as we go through this time, through our district meeting. We just pray that you would help us to carry it as you would have us to. Thank you for all that you do for us and the blessings of the United States of America that you give us, how you watch over us and enable us to have lives that we have. Now, Father, I ask you to be with us in all that we do today. Bless it and use it. We ask it in your Son's name. Amen. Amen. You may be seated. No, we got to pledge. Sorry. Let's pledge allegiance first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Before I introduce my fellow trustees who are with us here tonight, I want to take a moment and thank the SECO Energy employees who are here tonight and helped us here with this meeting. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, everyone. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Board of Trustees. First is Gerald Anderson, our Board President and District 3 trustee, and his wife, Jane. Scott Boyat, our Board Vice President and District 1 trustee, with his wife, Rebecca. Morgan Hatfield is our Board Secretary and Treasurer and District 9 trustee. Our District 2 trustee is Joyce Anderson. District 5 trustee, Shannon Wright. District 6 trustee, you just met, Mike Muffett and his wife, Irene. And is Bill James here? No. And also I'd like to introduce my wife, Carmen. And our CEO, Curtis Wynn. Our cooperative attorney, Scott Gerken, will take the podium in just a moment. Please give everyone a round of applause. At this time, I would like to turn the meeting over to our cooperative attorney, Mr. Gerken, to be chairman of the meeting. Mr. Gerken.
Thank you, Mr. Kusiak. We appreciate that. It is a privilege to be here this evening and an honor to chair your meeting. I've said it before, and there was a little hesitancy there on the clapping, but I enjoy the SECO meeting because it's the only place the lawyer ever gets applause. So I appreciate that very much. Although I think mine was a little quieter than the trustees, but I'll try not to let that hurt my feelings. There are always at district meetings, there are 3 basic housekeeping or administrative things that I'm charged with doing at the beginning of the meeting, and I will do those now, assuming I can find my glasses. The first is the appointing of a recording secretary for the meeting, and there she is. Absent any objection, I will appoint Jerry Helms to be our recording secretary. Are you willing to accept that task? Thank you. We rehearsed that ahead of time, but thank you very much. Thank you, Jerry. We appreciate that. And second, all the voting was outside this evening, but I understand that, Amanda, is everyone good? Everyone that's wished to vote has voted? Yes, get a thumbs up. So with that, we will go ahead and close the voting registration. And the third housekeeping item is determination of quorum. That is an easy one this evening. We are required to have at least 20 members present for a quorum, and you have far surpassed that this evening, so it's wonderful to see everybody here and to have the crowd. But we have the quorum required to move ahead with the meeting. So with that, I am proud to introduce to you our Secretary-Treasurer, Morgan Hatfield, who will announce the certified candidates for this evening. Morgan?
Thank you. Good evening. It's wonderful to see a crowd here tonight for the District 7 meeting. As Mr. Gherkin stated, I'm Morgan Hatfield, the Secretary-Treasurer and District 9 trustee. It is my responsibility to certify the nominees for trustee in District 7, accordance with Article 3, Section G, Paragraph 2 of the bylaws of Sumter Electric Cooperative Incorporated. The following member is certified as a nominee for trustee for District 7. Joseph Kusiak, 5366 Southwest 176th Avenue, Dunellen, Florida, 34432. And the second member who is certified as a nominee for trustee for District 7, Paul Schwartz, 7418 Southwest 101st Avenue, Ocala, Florida, 34481. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hatfield. Although everyone has voted this evening, it's worth it to go through and explain the process a bit that you just went through. I believe tonight is the New Hampshire primary, and so I guess it's appropriate to point out that what we do at SECO is a wonderful model of democracy. Unlike investor-owned utilities or government-owned utilities, SECO is owned by the members, which is all of you. And one member, one vote. So as you all came through tonight and voted, I know some of you, I believe, had to do paper ballots when the Wi-Fi went out. That actually warms my heart. In the old days, we used to do paper ballots with the big box and actually count them in the back room. But another casualty to COVID, when COVID came in, we switched to electronic. But tonight we had a little bit of a throwback and had some paper ballots. But all those, I can assure you, all those ballots, whether it's paper or electronic, have all been calculated. And at the end of the meeting, we will announce the candidate that will be your member, your trustee, for the next 3 years. Before that time, though, it is my pleasure to introduce, he's already been introduced, but it is worth introducing again, our CEO, Curtis Wynn, who will be giving you a little State of the Co-op address, and will also be answering questions along with the executive team at that time. So a round of applause would be appropriate for Mr. Wynn. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate the introduction, and it's definitely good to see everybody, as has already been said. I want to once again welcome and thank you for joining the SECO Energy team and your fellow members here in District 7. I, for one, am very honored to be here. And Scott has talked a little bit about membership, but your participation in our district meeting is an essential element of the governance process at SECO Energy. Now, for those of you who completed our interactive online survey, we're just grateful for your feedback and your time commitment that you gave us for that. We'll have an opportunity at the end of my discussion or prepared comments to have a discussion with you about things that are on your mind here in District 7. We're calling it a forum, and we want to make sure we engage with you this evening to talk about things that you would like to tell us. I would like to also thank Mr. Kusiak for his dedication to his fellow District 7 members, and also to the SECO Energy Board. He has served he's served graciously on the board and has been a faithful member of our board, and I think we owe him a great amount of appreciation for all that he's done. Mr. Swartz, also thank you for your interest in becoming a part of the board and for your interest in District 7 and serving. I think we should give both of these gentlemen a round of applause for their efforts. As has already been done, let me also thank our Board of Trustees who sit behind me, and just really give them the appreciation they deserve for serving on the board. There's a lot that they have to do, and it's definitely worthy of making sure we let them know how much we appreciate their service for the members as we're seeing here tonight. So let's give our board a round of applause. Now, I've got a question. Did you know that SECO Energy just celebrated its 85th anniversary? How many of you knew that? Let me see a show of hands. 85 years. Now, we were formerly known as, Ms. Hatfield called out the name, as Sumter Electric Cooperative. The cooperative electrified its first rural homes and members, as we call them, near Webster in November of 1938. As not-for-profit electric cooperatives like SECO, we were really established to be inclusive organizations whose purpose was to electrify rural homes and farms. These households were underserved by investor-owned and municipal utilities that were serving the more populated cities in the 1930s. Frankly, the investor-owned and municipal utilities of 85 years ago believed that extending service out to the rural farmlands just wasn't profitable and was just too expensive. So guess what? They did not do it. They chose not to go out to the rural communities. Now, in just 85 years, the landscape has changed. Our roots are humble, and our business model has remained stable. What was once a small rural utility, SECO has now grown to be the third largest electric cooperative in the state of Florida. And we're also the seventh largest electric cooperative in the nation. We currently serve over 240,000 homes and businesses within our Central Florida service area. And 20,000 of those are right here in District 7. So every day, roughly 500,000 consumers rely on SECO Energy to provide safe, affordable, reliable electric service to meet their everyday needs. Now, how many of you tonight consider yourself a customer of SECO Energy? I hate to tell you, but that was a gotcha question. Because you're not just a customer. You've heard us refer to it a few times. You are a member owner, and there is a difference. Here it is. As a member, you have a voice in the cooperative's governance process. That is evidenced by you being here tonight. Your participation is proof of that. Cooperative members are eligible to vote, as you've done already, for a trustee to represent your district on SECO's Board of Trustees, just like the dedicated men and women, ladies and gentlemen who are sitting behind me, of whom I have the pleasure to work. As a member, you also share in SECO Energy's excess margins, some people call it a profit, that remain after we pay all of our bills. Now, we call this excess margin capital credits, which is assigned proportionately to each active member that has patronized us during a particular year. Now, each year, SECO's board and our financial team, we come together, we examine our finances to determine if it is feasible to pay members a portion of their accumulated capital credits. Now, over the past decade, SECO has paid almost $47 million in capital credits to both current and former members. Now, in addition to current members, those who have moved away from our service territory and the heirs of the estate of a deceased member or former member are also eligible to receive capital credit payouts. Now, that is why when we talk to people in general, it is very important. If you'll spread the word on this, we would appreciate it. If you know of someone who is moving away, who is a member of SECO Energy, make sure you tell them to keep their address current with SECO Energy. Because at some point in time, there's a very good likelihood that we'll be trying to contact them in future years about their capital credits. So they need to keep an address current with us on file at the office. Now, customers of investor-owned and municipal utilities do not receive the awesome member benefits, the two that I just gave you. And as the saying goes, we like to think that membership does have its privileges. So SECO, if you take a look at us today, SECO Energy itself has come a long way since 1938. Now, to be successful and move the organization into the future, our board of trustees, our executive leadership team, and I knew we needed a clear, executable, and focused strategy. We manage using a newly developed strategy execution system that is taking SECO into the future. To keep our strategic direction simple and transparent, we have summarized this detailed system using a one-page strategy map. Now, I have one, and I think most of you do. How many of you have this? Keep it close. I'm going to refer to it a few times in my remarks. On the very back of it is our strategy map. So if you want one, we can give you another one. Okay? On the strategy map, this placed at your seat today, we have embraced a new, you can see it on there, we've embraced a new mission, which is to provide reliable and innovative energy services to you, our members. Now, we have also developed a new vision of how we see ourselves in the future. We see ourselves leading the industry in member satisfaction and engagement and being the preferred employer in our region. And we want this to happen over the next 3 to 5 years. We operate and treat our members within the framework of the following set of core values that you see on this document. It's at the very top. We value many things, and safety is at the very top of our list. But we also value member commitment, honesty and loyalty, a strong work ethic, an inclusive culture, accountability, and teamwork. Those are our values as an organization. Now, below that, you have 4 perspectives from which we view the work that we do. And underneath those are specific goals to fulfill our mission, vision, and the core values that I just mentioned. And if you look at the teal section, this is the people and culture section. What we do here is we work hard to establish a culture at SECO Energy that attracts the very best talent we can find. To run an organization like SECO, it definitely requires talent. In the red section, what you'll find is our operational initiatives, which tell us what are the major activities that we must focus on to be successful. And you would guess that the green section is talking about financials, the money. And these are the things we must do to keep our rates competitive and remain financially strong. And last but not least, the orange section, this demonstrates that all of the work that is done with a focus on doing what is right for you, our members. Now, the member perspective is what I consider to be the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Out of all the work we do, we strive to have you as our members to enthusiastically make these 3 statements that you see at the bottom in the orange section. I'll let you read those. Now, please allow me to just highlight a few of the examples of the efforts that we've taken or that are underway to demonstrate our commitment to these statements. And first of all, this is the first meeting that I've attended here in District 7. And when I took the job as CEO in December of 2021, one of the board's first and top priorities was to begin the transition from manually reading meters to establish an automated system to do that. At the end of 2022, the board approved the implementation of advanced metering infrastructure. We also call it AMI technology. AMI is a win for the cooperative and for its members. It is one of the most innovative energy services that we can provide to you, bar none. An AMI system will reduce labor costs that it takes to physically dispatch technicians to come to all the locations, 240,000 meters, to read those locations, to read the meters at those locations every month. That's one big advantage. The second is that there are other benefits, like the system being able to identify power outages. When that does happen, we're already notified before you can even find our telephone number. It will also identify system malfunctions that might happen on the system. But most importantly, AMI will help us to engage directly with you as it provides real insight into your energy use. Through our online account management platform that we call the Smart Hub, you can view and review daily meter readings in 15-minute intervals. Every 15 minutes, you have a reading. We have a reading. Now, these near real-time readings also provide help us provide you with updated graphs, charts, diagrams, information about your energy consumption that's broken down for appliances and electronics that are in your home. You can also, with this system, receive alerts when your energy usage is higher than it usually would be. Now, usage breakdowns allow SECO's team to help you determine the energy efficiency measures that you can take that will make a real difference in your monthly energy use and the money that you spend on your utility bill. The AMI data is a vital factor in SECO helping you, our members, to manage your energy use. As of today, we have roughly, probably a little bit over 65,000 AMI meters installed all across our system. And we're working as quickly as possible to bring this technology to all parts of our service area. Now, this is one of many efforts that we have on the way that will hopefully get you to agree that SECO Energy helps me to manage my energy use, and it's on your strategy map at the bottom. Does everybody see that one? Now, these advantages are truly just the tip of the iceberg as it relates to your cost savings and the advantages that SECO Energy will receive from this major investment. Now, delivering high-impact services is also on your strategy map, and it's listed as one of those organizational initiatives in the red section. We strive to not just be your energy provider, but also we want to be your trusted energy advisor. Now, as a not-for-profit organization, reducing costs is high on our list of objectives. And I understand that is probably at the top of your list too, and important to you as well. And we can help. SECO has developed online energy efficiency tools to help you identify the areas of your home that can use an energy savings tune-up from time to time. Our online home energy assessment is a full energy audit that you can conduct from the comfort of your home. All you have to do is simply follow the prompts to input information about your specific home and your lifestyle and submit the answers along with an email address to us, and we will reply with energy savings advice to help you save money that are tailored just for you. Another online energy savings tool is our energy estimator. Now, if you want to see the dollars and cents associated with the most common household appliances in your home or electronics, you can complete the energy estimator. You choose your electronics and the appliances, add the number of hours that you estimate that those devices will be in use, and the energy estimator will calculate the estimated energy costs by the month or by the year. Now, you can find both of these, and I'm almost a little bit afraid to say this .com stuff because I've talked to several of you and you've told me that the internet's not the best in this region. So for those who have the internet, you can find a lot of this as an online tool at secoenergy.com. And you'll find it under the energy solutions section of our website. Now, another topic that is relevant, very relevant in today's economy, is the adoption of member-owned rooftop solar arrays. Just by a show of hands, who has solar arrays? It is very popular. And as your trusted source of energy solutions, we have experts on our team. We employ experts who really understand how solar works. They understand its benefits, and they also understand the disadvantages of solar. And they are standing by to help you decide if a personal investment in a rooftop solar system is the viable choice for you, your home, and your business. Now, if you are considering solar, please reach out to us before you sign a contract. In conversations that we've had with many of these roughly 5,500 or so of our members, they're begrudgingly telling us that the investment in solar is not as much of a money saver as they thought it would be. Nor is it anywhere close to what they were told before making the investment. Now, solar equipment, we have to admit, is expensive. They don't give it away. There are no free systems. Regardless of what you might hear through blatantly false advertising, after you add up the cost of the equipment, the financing expenses, the maintenance charges, and yes, you still have to purchase electricity from SECO when you get a solar system. I'm not sure what you might have been told, but that is still the case. But after all of that, the outlay of your funds is typically greater than the original SECO average bill. Now, hopefully, you will trust us to help you identify the facts before you allow solar vendors to convince you to make unwise investments. Our goal is to get you to agree that SECO Energy is your trusted source of energy solutions. It's on the map. That's one of our goals. And we get it. We know what is really important to you. It's real simple. What's really important to you for us is that we keep the lights on and we keep the rates as low as possible. Does anybody disagree with that? I thought that. So speaking of keeping the rates as low as possible, have you noticed on your bill that hot bucks are back? They're back. Since October, the price of natural gas has stabilized. And I mention that because we can once again credit your electric bills in the form of these hot bucks due to the lower cost of natural gas, which is one of the primary fuels that Seminole Electric the cooperative from which we buy power to serve you, is one of the main fuels they use to send us power. So can you think for a moment, what can you find today that costs less than it cost 5 years ago? I'm happy to give the mic to anyone who can identify something. Well, when you look back in time, it remains true that SECO Energy and electricity as a whole are a good value for your dollars. Now, with the reapplication of hot bucks in October, SECO's members are paying slightly less per 1,000 kilowatt hours than you paid or would have paid if you were a member in January of 2019, 5 years ago. Now, we in the energy industry, we love acronyms. So that's the part about keeping the rates as low as possible. I want to talk about reliability. There are some acronyms I want to just share with you, and I won't get too deep into the weeds, but there are 3 acronyms I want to share with you about keeping the lights on. The first is called SAIDI, the second one is called SAFE, and the third is called CAIDI. It means nothing to anyone in here, but I want to just make it real for you. SAIDI, it has a D in it. That measures the number of minutes an average electric consumer like yourselves is without power each year. The most recent national averages show that in 2021, customers were out of power for almost 500 minutes in a given year. Now, if our chief operating officer were here, he would be happy to tell you, but I'll let Mr. Pennington smile about this, that the entire team for that matter, we're proud to report to you that in comparison, SECO members were out of power for only an average of 64 minutes in that same time frame. So 500 minutes, 64 minutes. SECO, 500 national average, SECO, 64 minutes. Our next acronym is SAFE. That's frequency, which is the measure to how we measure the frequency of electric interruptions in a given year. In 2021, the average SECO member experienced an outage only 1.2 times in that given year. Still below the national average, which was 1.43 times in a given year. 1.2, 1.43. It gets better. The third one is even better, and that is CAIDI. That is the duration. How long are your lights out after you call us? In 2021, SECO Energy's CAIDI measurement was 53 minutes compared to the national time of 331 minutes. And just in 2023, this number has been consistent over the last several years. And in 2023, we broke more records, even more records in 2023. So through those measures, SECO ranks at the top of the class in reliability. The numbers speak for themselves. And we've maintained these comparisons for years, especially in 2023, as I just mentioned. Now, you may be asking, how did we get these stellar reliability numbers? I can tell you it didn't just happen. And I'm also glad you asked that question. The keys are maintenance and ongoing investment in our electric infrastructure. Our operations team, who I'm so proud of, follows a routine maintenance and inspection cycle that includes substation and pole and overhead and underground equipment inspections. They try to find the problem before it happens. Yearly, our investment in vegetation management allows us to proactively trim the trees away, especially those dead trees, away from the hundreds and hundreds of miles of overhead power lines and remove those weak dying trees before they fall on the lines to cause an outage. With these best-in-class reliability numbers, I hope you agree that SECO Energy is reliable and a good value. And we know we've been successful. And any time you have a strategy, you want to know what success looks like. We feel like we will know that we're successful when you, the members, are enthusiastically making these 3 statements about your electric cooperative. And they're here again. If you are with me, let's all say them together. The first one, M1, SECO Energy. Let's try that again. SECO Energy is reliable and a good value. M2, SECO Energy. Y'all sound so good. M3, SECO Energy. Thank you. Now, give yourselves a hand for that. Y'all sound good. You see, what matters to us is what matters to you. If you're saying that, we hope you see it. And that matters to us, that you feel that way. And if you go to where we just left, I'll say it again. This is the bottom line. That you're happy. When you're happy, our trustees are happy. And when they're happy, I'm really happy. So moving on, while you were waiting for our business meeting to begin, I hope you had a chance to visit our teams, especially the ones in the back. They have information about electric vehicles, energy efficiency, our surge protection program, and Smart Hub. Now, if you have follow-up questions, we want to spend some time now as we move into the forum section of our meeting. Or if you don't have questions tonight, please call us. Contact us by email. Give us a call at secoenergy.com. And we'll make sure we answer your questions. As your trusted energy advisor, our team is available to share knowledge and expertise and to help you make the right energy choices for your home and your family. I'm about to I've really wrapped up my initial comments, and I want to just again thank all of you for joining us, and for the SECO Energy team, all of my colleagues this evening for making this meeting possible. If you don't mind, if you just give our team one more round of applause. So I'm going to go ahead and call our executive leadership team up to the front. We're going to go ahead and move directly into the forum part of our meeting. We want to, hopefully, if you have questions, we can answer those questions. But allow me to call my colleagues up. Wayne Pennington, our Associate Vice President of Operations. You can just come on up, Wayne. He's filling in for John LaSalva, who's our Chief Operating Officer. Greg Morrell, our Chief Corporate Services Officer. I don't think, Ann, are you able to come up with us? Ann Reynolds is our Vice President of Financial and Administrative Services. Ben Dawson, our Vice President of Growth, Smart Grid, and Operational Technology. And Tracy DeLimos, our Vice President, Corporate General Counsel. And Jerry Helms has been mentioned earlier. She's going to continue with her duties to keep up with the meeting. Mr. James, would you step forward for just a second, please? I want to introduce our other trustee who's just come in, but Mr. James, give a wave to everybody, or if you wanted to come join us, feel free to do so. So we're going to have mics in place. Also while we're doing this, many of you completed our online survey, and I want to just thank you for taking that time to do that once again. It's something new that we've tried, and we're really making a concerted effort to make sure we give you the delivery of information that you're interested in. Many of my remarks were based on the feedback we got from those who participated. Those are some of the questions that you asked. So who wants to be first with a question? Please go to the mic, and if you don't mind, just identify yourself and present your question, please. I think he's first.
My name is Richard Pepin. I'm a SECO part-time producer. I've got solar with storage backup. They installed a smart meter about 2 years ago. Everybody who came here saw the one bar on your phone as you came in, probably. At least those with Verizon did. And I'm on 328, which is a small farms community. And they installed the smart meters, and I'm a data hog. I love watching the data. I've seen the website. None of that works because the smart meters don't have cellular in our neighborhood. Also, we have farms, and most of us with farms have gates and lots of fences, and in my case, a big pit bull. So the meter reader has to call. We have to be home. They have to be able to come across the fence, read the meter. It also won't help me look at production versus use and crunch all that data and look at the efficiencies that I'm putting out into my system, right? And I understand, I didn't, because it was cost effective, I bought it because I worked for Duke Energy and I don't want to be reliant on the utilities. What's the plan for cellular service to make those smart meters work? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ben, it looks like you want to answer that question, or you want me to?
I'll be happy to.
Go ahead.
I'll be happy to answer that. Our first primary source is cellular modems for the meters, but there are going to be certain areas where cell service won't be available. The plan is to have routers positioned in certain locations to be able to talk to the meter, from the meter to the router, and then from the router backhaul it back to the headquarters. So
Yeah, they've come and changed, they take the meter out so far 6 times and put it back in. And, you know, I have a router and extenders in the service, and I asked them, can it not piggyback onto my signal coming out of the house? You guys are not allowed to do that?
we prefer to have it on our own communication network. We will be moving into this area in the next end of first quarter, second quarter, and that's when we'll be really mass deploying the AMI system in this just geographic area.
Thank you. And I do want to say the tree service last year and everything, the best utility, your timing is fantastic. Very pleased.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Did he ask your question? Okay. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. If you could come to the mic right next to you there.
I'm almost tall enough. I wanted to ask you about the surge protectors that I have put on my home. I had a severe lightning storm, and it blew the phone box off the house. And I wasn't sure who to call, but a couple of your guys showed up and they said, ma'am, this isn't us. But I didn't even think about the fact I had the surge protector because it completely messed up my computer. And I wasn't sure if it was okay to call and make a claim or how that works.
Greg, is that you?
If you don't mind, I'll meet with you right after this meeting, and I'll get your information, and we'll follow up with you first thing tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had 2 questions, but I've had great service from SECO. I've had service in other districts or other areas, and SECO's been a great provider. I'm really happy with most everything. One thing, just a comment. I'd like to be able to, and I love the Smart Hub. You know, most of it, but I have one comment on Smart Hub. You know, there's several screens where you can only look at the kilowatt hours. You can't look at it in dollars. And I almost kind of also want to see, I want to analyze the kilowatt hours, the the cost of the kilowatt hours over time. I think both of those were missing. So the comparisons from year to year in dollars instead of kilowatt hours, and the cost of the kilowatt hours in dollars over time. Those are two that seem to be missing, and I was hoping I could get some visibility on that. That's all.
I can answer half that. When we get deployed with AMI meters, that feature where you see dollars will show up on your account in Smart Hub.
Yeah, so you can see why we're so excited to get this AMI system fully deployed. There are so many things that it can do to help you get the kind of information that you want. Anyone else?
Sorry to bust your bubble, but anyway, I do have a couple quick comments. First of all, I'm from Illinois. We had Commonwealth Edison for the 70 years I lived there, and I do have to say that SECO is much more reliable and cost efficient, more so than they were in Illinois. We, of course, had some pretty bad winters. The only other comment I got is about the solar panels. I know solar panels are something that you really don't promote for home use, but in a sense, there's so much sun in Florida. Would it be more beneficial for SECO to come in and say, okay, we can offer you solar panels, and then what extra energy that you do provide comes back to us? I mean, that's supposedly the way solar panels work. Maybe you could fill us in a little bit more on that.
Yes, and I'm really glad you asked that question. I'll take that one if my team doesn't get mad at me. I think the concept you may be referring to is something known as community solar. At least if it's not, I want to just introduce that thought, because it is something we're looking at in the years to come, and how we can give you an option. And I want to be clear that SECO is not against solar. We just don't want our members to be hurt by it. And we see too much of that happening. But the option for community solar is exactly the way you described it, where perhaps as SECO as a utility could own the solar arrays and allow our members to subscribe to some of those arrays, which alleviates the disadvantage someone renting would have, or someone who has shaded trees in their yard would have that can't get the rays to their rooftop. There are a lot of options with that we could offer that would open up this to everybody who wants it. So that's something we're looking at as an option in the future. Thank you. Any other questions?
Hi, first comment I'd like to make is I think you guys do a great job. I really do.
Thank you, sir.
Question. With this AMI metering system going in, are you guys going to consider a time of day rate schedule?
I think, and they look at me, so that means I got to answer the question. It depends on what, there are several variations of time of day billing, some of which we could offer, but it just depends on what it is you're looking for. And I'll give an example of one version of time of day. A time of day option is for, I think I was speaking to one gentleman here who's an EV owner. And the goal would be for us to have the ability to work with you, engage with you as a member to give you incentives to use power when it's the least expensive for us. So I'll say that is an option that we certainly will look at if it's not available. I'd love to talk with you more about what specifically you're thinking about, but I think time of day is a direction that we will be taking a very close look at to see if it can benefit not only SECO, but also the members by encouraging you to use power at a time when we have excess capacity that's not being used. Everybody wins when that happens because we're selling more electricity at a time when we otherwise would not be. And you would be saving dollars on your utility bill. So allow us to give us some time to get more details around that, but we will look at it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Alan McKay. I'm a board member on the Rainbow Lakes Estates Advisory Board. I want to welcome you, and I thank you for coming here. And I'll tell you, your sound system's a lot better than what ours is. You probably found that out. That's why you brought your own, right? I just wanted to tell you, we lived in northern Michigan, and we were on top of Michigan Rural Electric. Our bills there were astronomically higher than what they are here. We use a considerable amount of electricity because of air conditioning and so forth. But you guys do a fantastic job. Your reliability is top notch, and my hats off to all of you. You do a great job, and thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for having us, allowing us to use your facility. This is a beautiful facility. We appreciate the opportunity to be here. Anyone else? If not, before I sit down, I just want to remind you that we have told you that we would have incentives for participating in the Front Porch Forum. Some of you have done that. You will hear from us in the next few days about that incentive. We will be doing a drawing probably tomorrow. We have 20 $25 bill credits that 20 of you lucky people will be able to take advantage of. We have 3 $250 bill credits that will go to some lucky members, and 10 $50 bill credits. And that's just our appreciation for you coming out to engage with us. This is very important. We always look for the opportunity to share what's happening with your cooperative, with you, the members. Once again, thank you for being here, and now I'll turn it back over to Attorney Gerken.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen, and thank you tonight for all of you for turning out, and especially for all of the tremendous SECO employees who've run a smooth election and a district meeting. We appreciate all they do, and it's worth another round of applause, if you could. Thank you also for both of our candidates this evening. It's always good to have involvement in the cooperative, and we appreciate you being part of our governance program. Again, thank you for the healthy turnout that we've had this evening. And with that said, without any further ado, it's kind of like the Grammys or something. I have the envelope. I'm pleased to announce that you have re-elected Joseph Kusiak as your District 7 trustee. Congratulations to Mr. Kusiak, and thank you, Mr. Schwartz, for your participation. With that, unless there is any other business that we need to take to this evening, I will entertain a motion to adjourn, if I would have one. There's a motion. We have a second. Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.